Hello, and welcome to the Mocha Minutes podcast. I'm Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. You can find the Mocha Minutes podcast on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, Google Play, TuneIn, Castbox, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. Find us on any of those platforms or wherever else you catch your podcast. Also, still soliciting for ratings and reviews. If you would be so inclined, please leave us some 5 stars. Leave us some reviews. Would greatly appreciate it. Also, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Mocha Minutes on all 3 of those platforms. If you want to shoot me an email, give me some feedback. Other than on those 3 places, you can email me at mochaminutes@gmail.com. Hello, and welcome back to the Mocha Minutes podcast. This is Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much to everybody. What in the world was going on? Thank you to everybody who listened to the colorism series. Thank you so much for everybody who's been giving me feedback. I appreciate it. The DMs, the emails, the Kendrick, you are a whole fool and a half. And I love you. I love you so much. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of the people that were involved in the colorism series. So definitely a big shout out to Sasha from the Bravo Breakdown. I'm sorry, I can't just say the name of her IG channel. I have to sing it, y'all. I'm sorry. I feel like it's just like
hilarious.
Yeah, it's just reflex. Shout out to Taria from What Else Is Going On. Shout out to my mother who wasn't always married to my daddy. I was like, girl, I know, because she is the one who told me, girl, you better test drive that car before you wind up with a lemon. Okay. But the other person I definitely have to big up is the person that is back with me again, because Tammy Roman got the Bonnet Chronicles. We have the Scarf Soliloquies. And so I have Cook from the Highly Inappropriate podcast. She just my friend, y'all. I'm sorry, she's not just. She's a very accomplished bitch, and put respect on her name. Respect. RESPECK. Respect. So we are back to have our Scarf Soliloquies. I know what we about to talk about.
Everything.
First of all, Cook. It's been a wonderful week. March is already almost over. And I'm like, the new bingo card every month of ridiculousness or thought-provoking shit. It's been an interesting March. How are you?
Hey, doll. I'm good. I'm here. March has been interesting. I've been full of fire, ready to kick ass, but I'm cooling out.
It's like, y'all want me to say something? Let me not, because you're going to make me say something. But yeah, so I asked Cook back because, and this probably is the quickest turnaround of Cook being back on the show, but between the social meds and the clubhouse, or the ghetto treehouse, whatever you want to call it.
Ghetto treehouse. Oh.
I don't know, because I swear, because Clubhouse is like a audio app, you don't see nobody's faces. People lie. They make shit up. People just been talking straight out of their neck and not using all the words that are invented in language to not be smart and just be head asses. So we are not sitting in the front of our cars. For some reason, thought leaders and relationship gurus. Y'all don't see the quotes I'm doing. They like to sit in their car and ask for gifts, donations, and they want to dole out relationship advice that nobody asked for. So a young man who literally nobody asked him for his opinion, but his opinion has been out there, Mr. Derrick Jaxn. And let me just say this before we start. Our opinions are our opinions. Any allegations, they are alleged. I'm going to say this again. This is allegedly. 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 I'm going to keep saying that. It's alleged. So this man who is, I don't think he's 35 yet, which for us is the mark of, I need you to live a little bit more. I'm not discounting anybody's lived experience. I feel like after like at least by 35, you've gotten quite a bit of experience. Prayerfully, you don't have more lived experience than, I'm sorry, there's a lot of experience when it comes to life. Some things you shouldn't experience until a certain point, but it is what it is. So Derrick Jaxn is everybody's little favorite relationship advice person. He has gone from that nigga in his car, that nigga who got an Amazon book, his book is on Amazon, to a simp, a pandering ass nigga, to, he got a point. That's only by women saying that. And now his new title is Cheater, Pumpkin Eater. He stole it from Jamal.
Shit.
It's always some churchy black dude who want to tell us, and they be hoes. Nope. This is not about we're not talking about him. Anyway, so it came out in the last couple of weeks that Derrick Jaxn allegedly likes to put his dick all over the place, other than in his alleged wife that nobody knew about and he's been married to for 4 years. Apparently he got married in 2017.
They got kids too.
They had kids. Yeah, that was the other thing. It was like, wait, he has children. So the marriage part I knew. I was like, I knew that one. The children part was new for me. I was like, his children? I didn't know he had children. Okay, all right, okay. Sure. Let's go with that. So if this started out with a YouTube sensation. She has 891,000 subscribers. She always has the tea. She is very much somebody who I feel like if you cross her, may God have mercy on your soul, because she's not going to stop. She's not going to let the mouse go. I respect her petty. Let's be quite honest. I kind of do. I respect her petty. And I'm talking about Tasha K. Her channel is called Unwine, WINE, with Tasha K, because she drinks wine, because that's what us classy broads do. We like to talk shit and drink wine. So she has been putting out these videos. She's been streaming live, basically letting everybody know that Derrick Jaxn is a hoe. He's a big hoe. He is a philandering floozy. And now everybody know about it. So she put out one video and said he's exposed for cheating because
he cheated.
He cheated. And then homeboy decided to think that he could use Dwayne Wade's excuse and say, we were on a break, like this is Friends. Girl.
It's because of Dwayne we have the lexicon break baby in the lexicon, and I do not forgive him for that.
Mm-mm.
I don't forgive these niggas for making up new names for the goddamn shit they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because when will they stop?
Mm-hmm. Like, when y'all gonna do this thing where it's like, girl, we ain't doing that. So yeah. Like, now we got break baby stuff. Lord have mercy. Now that's the new verbiage, the break baby.
Right.
So right now I'm looking at Tasha K's channel. She has 3 videos up about this. It started about 6 days ago. And the good thing, guys, it's not long. I have seen YouTubers who have 4 or 5 hours long videos. I'm like, they got the Snyder cut of YouTube. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Snyder cut of YouTube.
I was like, girl, I have not watched that movie and I don't think I will. It's 4 hours. I would rather
die.
Mind you, the last Avengers, I think was 3.5 hours. I'm like, and you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck because it's a good ass movie. Mm-hmm. I can't go through like 2 additional hours of Justice League. I'll be ready to drive. Did you watch the whole thing?
Okay, so I only watched the Snyder cut. I vowed not to watch any live action Justice League films because I don't believe in them. I don't believe in Ben Affleck as Batman. I do not believe in Henry what's his face is Superman, even though he's like fucking beautiful. I just don't believe in him. Okay, I don't. And so I watched it. It took forever. It was nonsense how long it was. But everyone who saw the first Justice League and then watched this one was like, the Snyder cut was like, was way better by comparison.
And I'm pretty sure it is. I'm just like, I can't look. I did 2.5 hours of that new Wonder Woman movie. I'm like, after that 2.5 movies of Wonder Woman, I'm like, first of all, give me Aquaman with Yaya. Give that to me. Other than that, fuck y'all. I'm like, I'm not doing this. Nope. Because I want to actually that's it. I want my 2.5 hours back from watching Wonder Woman 84. I want my time back. I was so disappointed because the first one was not terrible. So I'm sitting here like, what the fuck is this?
What the entire
I was sitting here like, and you remember when she wished? I'm like, when did she say that? I'm like, I'm literally watching this movie going, when the hell did that happen? This storytelling is garbage. And I saw the trailer for Suicide Squad, and I'm like, of course, it's also the first Suicide Squad came out the weekend of my birthday the last time. Of course, this one is again coming out in August. I'm like, fool me once, fool me twice. Nope, not doing it. Don't care if Idris Elba is in this movie. Don't care.
I do.
But I know.
But so Nina liked the Suicide Squad. And she's a kid, so
I mean, I think if you are a kid, there's certain movies that, excuse me, I can't say too much because I love the live action He-Man movie, Masters of the Universe. And people are like, that thing is garbage. I'm like,
it is.
Yeah. But I love it. It's like, yeah. It's so, I'm sorry, y'all. I love it. It's like, shout out to Jay from Tea with Queen and Jay, because she had said, y'all, what's a movie that you love that is under 50% on Rotten Tomatoes? And at first I was like, I was like, let me just look. And I'm like, and then I was just looking, like I looked up, I was like, I kind of want to watch the He-Man movie. I'm like, let me see what they're rated. Oh, look, I found one. Masters of the Universe. And it's not, I will say, it's not as low as you would think, because man, is it terrible. It's not as low as I thought for Rotten Tomatoes. I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, oh, it's not. You were. So I will say, I thought it was going to be like less than 10%, y'all. I'm not even, guys, I know how bad this movie is. So I was like, oh, it's going to be terrible. It's probably like, what, 3%? It's 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, guys. So,
oh my God.
So I was like, because I know people looking at it like, oh my God. It's like, oh, it's terrible. I'm like, you guys, I'm not even going to hold you. It is a terrible ass movie. It's also from the 80s. So there's that. I literally just did Oh, okay, this is fine. Because you remember that movie Cool World?
Yes, with Kim Basinger.
Mm-hmm. So I was wondering, I was like, let me, like, while I'm sitting here, I'm like, I wonder what that is. And I was like, if it's higher than Masters of the Universe, I'm like, this is an op and this is the feds. Cool World is Cool World is 4% on Rotten Tomatoes. So I feel like all's right with the world, guys. Because God, Cool World is a terrible ass movie. It is gross. It is terrible.
I love when I teach you slang and then you pick it up. It's an op and a fed. Like
both of them.
Bogus.
Right? Like, what is this? Somebody is lying to me. It's like, I'm sorry. That is so funny. She really is. She really did. I'm like, y'all. It's like it's 4%, and I feel like that is a very high rating. It should be negative 45% because God, Cool World is horrible.
Cool World, chill. It's not that bad. I mean, the ending sucks, but the premise was cool. Like,
the best part of it, honestly, is Brad Pitt, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm not even exactly sure why, but it's like, because he's pretty. This is like early.
That is a pretty early.
This is early Brad Pitt. So it's like, okay, all right. See, I don't know how we got here, but y'all, fuck Cool World, okay? But don't fuck Masters of the Universe. It is on Amazon Prime until March 31st. Ask me how I know.
I cannot with you.
I'm sorry. And I think I actually own the movie, so that's even funnier. I do own it. I found it at a Walmart, I think.
You're raging against Cool World, and I'm here. Gag.
I know. How did I get here? How did I get
You are
raging against Cool World? That is hilarious.
You are.
Like,
it better not be higher than Masters of the Universe because it's an off and a fed. And I'm like, girl, I feel you.
I'm like, I mean it. I said what I said. Said what I told what I told, and I said what I said. It is the feds. Fuck that movie. I'm sorry. All right, so we're back to Derrick Jaxn. Let me back to center. Let me cool myself down.
Yes, take a breather.
If you want to see the videos, Tasha K has 3 videos on her channel about Derrick Jaxn, because the first one was exposing him. The second is she talked to a second mistress, and then the one that came out recently was a conversation about a woman he apparently is still fucking right now. So this is his current mistress. So far that's 3 women.
Yeah, and that one was interesting because she was just like, she's not on social media. She has like a very nice career.
She's a whole doctor. And Tasha made it a point to say, I will not tell anybody your name. I will not put any. She's like, I'm not doing any of that. She said, she's like, I'm a Jamaican American. She is a Jamaican American with the most sexy Southern voice I've ever heard. I was like, she kind of turned to me. How did I get here? I'm just like, yeah, girl.
All I know is she was just like, this nigga was living his life like he wasn't married. So this is what we're hearing. And it makes perfect sense. A lot of men live that way. Even there's men I follow on social media. You would not know they were married.
Because of the way that they talk. You're like, wait a minute, you
the
have
way
a whole...
that they post.
What? Mm-hmm.
All of it.
It's like, you would think that you were by yourself and baby, you died. That's interesting. So yeah, that's how we got here. Then all of a sudden, he because if you guys follow Derrick Jaxn, you know that all of his videos are in a car. So this video was different because it popped up on the Shade Room where he's sitting in a house with 4 walls and a couch. And then there was a woman sitting next to him that I was like, I feel like I have never seen this woman before. And it is his wife. And now they did 3 different things. So before I get to the couples video, he went live on his YouTube channel the night before, and he streamed, and then if you want to go back and watch it, you cannot. It is now private. That told me all I needed to know before I saw this other video. So then you saw him do a Facebook video with him, and Danae is his wife. Then you saw him do an Instagram live video. Then he did a YouTube video. And then he did a Facebook live. I'm sorry, it's a recorded Facebook video. Then he did a Facebook live. Then he went and did an IG live, both of these people. So essentially let's see. He did the IG live and IG recorded video, a Facebook video, Facebook live. I think he went live. I think the video is also on his YouTube channel. He may have went live. So apparently that's about 5 to 6 videos he's done with his wife, who looked extremely tired and put out, as she should feel. So then the jokes came. The jokes came that they were surprised he was doing a video in a house, because all of his videos are essentially in a car. He was wearing a medium cashmere sweater as he talked to us. His wife was wearing a hat or a bonnet, depending on who you ask, and some sweats. I think she was like, I'm home, so ain't no need for me to put a bra on. I feel you, sis, because that's how I feel too. I'm like, let me tell you, do I have to put on a bra? I mean, we're in the peplum dress. So you're like, oh, we're gonna do a video. Do I have to put on a bra? No. Okay, so good. I'm not gonna put one in.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So she did several things. She honestly is a very beautiful woman, because she's a naturally beautiful woman, but quiet as kept, I feel like I don't beautifully natural Black women are not a unicorn from my experience as being one, and also knowing Black women. So there's that. She had her glasses on. I'm like, I see you, sis. I know what it's about. So this video that they have, he put on his Instagram. It has 3.6 million views as of March 26th. 3.6 million.
What?
So
wait, 3.6 million views.
So the thing about it is that she decided, I am not going to dust off my beauty blender or put any rouge on my face or my cheeks. Y'all not going to see my natural coils. You will not see this 3C hair. Y'all don't get all of that. Y'all lucky y'all don't watch a murder on this channel. So y'all better just. So the jokes between him white knuckling this thing, because they were holding hands, and it looked like they were like passing notes on, okay, this is what you say, page 4, put it there. That's how it looked, because he looked like white knuckled. So then we talked about, then people were making jokes about her head attire. A lot of us said bonnet. And I think both of them at this point have said it's a hat. Okay.
Oh, okay. This is where I entered the chat. So listen.
Not enter the chat.
I called that shit a bonnet. I believe it was a bonnet.
Right.
It looked
I
like a bonnet
thought it was too. I was like,
it looked like she threw her toddler bonnet on her head. It looked like it was about a size 5T. And I said what I said. Now here's the deal.
Not 5T, child.
Here's the deal with this.
I miss my nephew. That just makes me think about my nephew. I'm like, I think he's what size is he now? Because he keeps growing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. It's my baby. I love him. Y'all know that's my baby.
Auntie, I cannot.
I'm being an actual auntie at that. I'm like, I really have a nephew, y'all. That's my baby.
Do I envy y'all? Because I don't got no nieces and nephews? Yes, because I would be a kick-ass aunt.
I agree. Don't worry.
My niece and nephew would be with me more than my own sibling. I know that much. They would want to be with me. I already know. Anyway, my thing about it, as far as her appearance, it wasn't really what I didn't appreciate. Was him coming back and making a video, speaking to us in third person, commentating about the video. I didn't appreciate that shit at all.
Girl.
I ain't like that shit, not one bit. And I don't trust this nigga. I don't trust even one of them.
Same.
But side eye, look, I got everybody in the situation gets side eye from me, but I have my reasons. I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna table it for now. I just know that I just can't think of any woman who, if you are telling her she has to, if it's her decision or she wants to, I don't believe that it was her decision and she came on camera like this. And I don't know. I
think that's where we are. It's like
I feel like the frumpy thing. I feel like the pictures that I saw of her prior to when we saw her and how we've seen her lately, she looked healthy, happy, and she did look like have a demure look about her. I will say that, meaning she was typically covered and wasn't scantily clad, and all of that is fine.
Correct.
It's just that the way she presented on camera for this was something. And I think if you go back and you look at them, like when they're on vacation, when they first met, she wore nice outfits. She looked nice.
Yeah.
It looks like, in the last month, she's kind of gone through something or going through something. So I give her grace in that regard, but she totally fumbled, not only for herself, but for him. And I hate to be that way.
I don't.
But this is the no, because this is the deal. Men like him hide behind their wives. This is what she's there for.
Agreed.
Most terrible men hide behind the women in their lives. Oh, I got a daughter. I wouldn't be out here doing that. Oh, I got a wife. I can't be out here doing like I love when I have a wife and a daughter. That's just a front. A lot of these men are not good partners.
Correct.
Let alone good people.
Correct.
So you being there, it's a part of their image. It's no different if you go into corporate America. How men want to move up the ladder. Oh, I've got a family. You get promoted quicker when you have a wife and kids. And
you're a single person. And mind you, it's like,
it's stupid, but whatever.
It's backward because if you think about like corporate America, you'd be like, they like the people who like can stay and work 14 hours a day. But typically because women are the primary parent, they're like, oh, you can still do that. I mean, I know, but it looks better on our bottom line. I'm like, does it? Does it?
And anybody who knows that, like, if you look at it, listen, even Future is settling down now. He's got a new girlfriend. He's been with her for over a couple weeks now. We haven't heard any new babies in the last month, so maybe. But trust me, he gonna hide behind her.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
That's the deal. If you really pay attention to what these niggas is doing, they just hide behind these brides. They hide behind that's a part of their image, because they can't be or say what the fuck they are, which is a bunch of Peter Guns.
That child, you ain't paying that rent. I'm sorry. That is,
and all I got for you was some babies. What did you give her other than some babies? Like,
child, the gift that she is the gift that keeps on giving, child. So now that everybody has eyes on said wife that no one had seen before, then it literally, like, instead of someone saying Twitter, do your thing, they did their thing all on their own. And so one, his wife's IG account that, the wife that a lot of people didn't know he had. So I will say this sidebar. I stopped listening to Derrick Jaxn a few years ago because after a while I'm like, so a lot of the stuff that you're saying, I've heard Black women saying it, and typically when they say it, they get a lot more vitriol. It reminds me of the phrase, straight Black men are the white people of Black people.
Yeah.
And because he has a bigger following, Rod from the Black Guy Who Tips, he got a lot of retweets. People have like passed along that because the first time I saw that sentence, I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, I get it now. It took me a minute because I was like, huh? So you saw people bigging him up to a certain extent. I think Very Smart Brothers did a whole article about it. However, that phrase came from a Black woman and they chased her off Twitter for that.
Wait a minute, what phrase now?
Straight Black men are the white people of Black people.
They are.
Yeah. So the thing about it is, Rod, to a certain extent, didn't get as much, or he basically just was blocking people, and I think that's fine. However, the woman who originated that phrase, she got chased off social media. She may have recreated her Twitter account. I'm not sure, but yeah, they chased her ass away. They essentially bullied her off social media. So it's always different when a man says to what Black women think is common sense. It's more palpable for some people. And it also, to be totally fair, for some women to actually find it more palpable. Because there are a lot of male-centered women. So they hear a man saying, it's like, see, oh, he's genius. But I will say, and it's also come out in the last few days, apparently there's some salty with the sweet. Because apparently a woman came out and said that the advice he gave her last year was that she was stupid to, I gotta find it. But he gave her advice that she is stupid and you need to stop look at the men that you are attracting, or some god awful advice. There are a lot of people who are coming up saying he called me stupid and y'all need to stop giving these niggas your time and that and this, that, and the third.
Whole time wife, you should have been saying that shit to him. But
So the general consensus when you talk to men about him is that he is a simp. And he's pandering for pussy. Yep. And that's mostly because if you're a Black man saying, men, we need to get our shit together and be better for women, it's like, oh, so you just simping for pussy. Because legitly, most men have been trained or imbibed with this notion that the only reason that you are nice to a woman is to get something out of her. That's it. You don't need to be nice because that's not what we're conditioned. Men are not conditioned to treat women with respect or treat them nice.
No.
That's not how we're conditioned. Hell, that's not even how we were conditioned. We weren't conditioned to a certain extent, for men to be nice to us. It was more of, you got to just, men are going to be.
If he hit you, he like you.
Right. It was like, child, if he hit me, oh, he like you. Hi, why is he putting his hands on me? It's like, as a child, you're like, oh, I'm like, so from the playground, we have been taught if a man is anyway nasty or abusive to you, it's fine because that's just how they communicate, as if they don't have all the words that we have access to. Hence why there are now straight Black men walking around like, I can't, no, women don't let me show my feelings. Yes, that's women. We don't have no safe spaces. I can't cry. And they always bring up the memes of their mamas or their wives, but they never bring up their absent daddies. Oh, I'm sorry. Who said that?
Listen.
I'm sorry. That's so funny. Woo! The bonnets, sonnets, and scarf soliloquies. It's a lot of like, what the hell? So you know that people who are like, I hated him, and see, we told y'all he was wrong. You told you he was bad. I'm like, so let us get this straight. There have been a lot of men who have said that Derrick Jaxn is an op, this, that, and that. He's a simp, he's pandering for pussy, right? All of y'all been doing this, and when it came down that he's just like he's
he's a floozy like the rest of y'all. Like, see, this is why y'all can't think that no man would ever not cheat on you. That's really rich. This is like, y'all are telling on yourselves and you don't even realize you're telling on yourself.
So where do we go from here?
Right. It's like, so basically you're saying like any man can cheat. I'm like, hey,
I just can't trust you niggas.
Right. I'm like, it's like, hi, hello. We have not been sitting here going, we know people anybody can physically cheat if they want to, because one, people cheat because they can. It's not because you do something. You can put all of the roadblocks up and they'll still cheat because one, there's this thing that God gave us called free will. It's like, why are you acting like this is so? I'm like, so you're celebrating that this man was quote unquote taken down a peg or two by many a woman and who were like, thank you for validating how we feel. Because a lot of times it's like when women say it, it's like, oh, bitch, shut the fuck up. But for some men, they got it when men say it. So they're like, thank you. Y'all start saying it because we're tired. It's kind of like with white people who are now talking about being anti-racist. I'm like, oh, good, because we're tired of, look, we've spent centuries talking. You can do some talking now. I'm going to go drink some water. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. It's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm done talking. You talk. So to watch so many men be like, see, that's why you can't depend on these niggas. Aren't you one of those niggas? So what we supposed to do? It's like, what is going on here? It's like, is this how y'all thought this was going to go? That's like, that's right. He's like any other man. Hi, could have told you that. Because after a while, I was like, this is common sense and it's super weird. I'm like, and I think for some women who were like, yeah, I see past that because it seemed too good to be true. And that comes from lived experience as a woman. Because after a while, you're like, why do I feel like you are too good to be true? And there's no way that you just flip this switch. Where is this coming from? So a lot of women, they sniffed the fake. I remember having a conversation with one of my friends and I was like, do you like Derrick Jaxn? And she was like, not really, because he's not doing anything revolutionary. And I feel like what he's saying is common sense, but so I don't understand why he's being heralded. He's not saying anything that's revolutionary. She's like, I don't get the thing with him. This was like 6 years ago. So there's that. It's like, so there are people who are like, yeah, the veil has been lifted on him for years. So it's like, oh, okay. Then we add in the wife's Instagram, which so his wife Danae, who honestly is a very attractive woman. I'm not even going to denounce that because I can't not say that because it's true. So, you know, on what Tasha K, let me tell you something. She'll keep you very, very, she'll keep you as anonymous as she can. Apparently she has a Patreon page where she lets a lot more shit in or out, but it's like, I know it's probably like lock and key with that Patreon because most Patreons, especially if you're doing this kind of shit where legal shit could happen, like, oh, so this could like land a lawsuit, so that's probably why. She got a lot of shit. So this is on top. This is one of Danae's, and the reason I know how to pronounce her name is because she phonetically put the spelling of her name as her Instagram handle. So it's Danae. So she put this one caption up, and a lot of people went, okay. So once upon a time, someone's playing a video next door. Okay. Once upon a time, I went on a rampage searching through a phone.
Is that me or you?
No, that is my neighbors. They're playing a video game.
Jesus Christ. I want to go over there.
Girl.
I was like, who? Girl, no.
Mind you, girl. Child. Okay. Once upon a time, I went on a rampage searching through a phone gallery. I seen some things you can't unsee or process rationally unless you submit them to the Lord Jesus Christ. I'm reading it exactly how it looks. I tend to do this a lot, y'all. I'm like, y'all, I am reading it the way it is written. Okay. As it I written, casting all your care upon him, for he cares for you, is the only double-edged sword covered in fire that can burn the things I seed up and bring true healing and forgiveness. Unfortunately, for over a decade, I was unaware of the gates that were open to the enemy with the things my eyes had seen, videos, pictures, and so on, of women I knew, women I didn't know, women who were friends, quote unquote, dark-skinned women. I was filled with the demon of rage, murder, suicide, depression. Prior to this phase of my life, I already suffered a rape trauma. Therefore, I was already plagued with the spirit of rape. Okay. And the spirit of the rapist himself, which preceded these new findings. Add videos of women in sexual acts to the equation, and you have yourself a ticking atomic bomb. Because I had the spirit of obsession, this creature had me in a forever loop of studying film of these women sexually. My sight would be hyper focused on the consistency of their body fluid during penetration, and with this, the spirit of comparison added its 2 cents, telling me, you don't secrete, girl, you don't secrete like this. That's why she has what
you're not a slug, babe. Okay.
Ooh, you don't secrete. Secrete, girl. I would focus on her skin, how many blemishes she had, if any, if she was waxed or not, how flexible she was, how she responded verbally in the midst of the act, hair color, positioning, most common in the experience, and more.
That's not healthy.
Girl.
That is not health. That's not healthy.
Girl.
At all.
Girl.
That's a fixate.
Okay. These images, live action images were on repeat in my brain day and night. Obsession and comparison together is an oppression that only the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit can deliver. I felt like trash every day. I felt like I wasn't experienced enough to TOO. Yeah, I said TOO because I meant that shit. Too tarnished from rape I was silent about for years, and I chose to continue breaking myself with seeking things and studying things that ultimately destroyed whatever was left of me in that time. It became such a torture box from the pit of it's hell, but she put heel, HE''LL. Hell, that I knew other women's sexual likes, pleasure spots, pillow talk better than I knew myself as a whole being. Now I declare war to help others be free in Jesus' name. This caption makes absolutely no sense, but it makes sense if you're dealing with someone who is unwell and literally has unhealed trauma and thinks she can pray that shit away. This is what you get when you don't literally get thyself to a therapist and thinking you can just pray shit away. Prayer is a tool that it has to go with other things, because there's this thing called Christian therapists, and also some pastors, not all, some preachers are actually able to be therapists. I'm not saying go to every pastor, but please know there are some that are actually licensed therapists. They went to the school. They learned the things. So I would implore you to look for those. She focused on the fact, because his wife, Danae, is not a dark-skinned woman. She is not the lightest woman, but she is not, but you can see by the way that she somehow talks, and also the way that her body language, that she is used to being the pretty girl. And the fact that her slut of a husband was fucking these darker skinned women is not sitting with her spirit. It's sizzling. And she wish it wasn't sizzling in her spirit. I'm sorry.
Was it sizzling in her spirit? Or was it?
Go ahead.
Secretions.
Secretions. I was like, secretions? Like, who calls coming secretion? Ma'am?
No, I'm sorry. I'm not letting that go. I'm not over it. I'm not done.
Like, secretions are mucus? What are you talking about? Madam, get thyself to a dictionary. Like, what? You secrete saliva. So I don't think seeing the way some other girl spits in your man's mouth is not what you're focusing on. If you're focusing on her having orgasms, she's not secreting anything, you clown. Toads secrete mucus. That is not them. That they are ejaculate. Shut up, you dumb ass. And I'm like, ma'am, first of all, why are you writing out shit? And also using emojis while you're writing.
Make it stop.
It's like, this is a lot. I don't understand. She is very, I don't want to say she's not Christ-centered because it is not my position to talk about whatever her relationship with Jesus is. I will just say this. The devil was an angel. He was one of the most beautiful angels, and he knows the Bible back and front too. I need you to stop acting like the devil don't know shit, or that is like, yeah, don't do this. And sometimes, yeah, the stance is, Derrick said they were on a break because he told her allegedly about the cheating, and she, according to her, she left. And she said, nope, I left and I said I was going to leave. She ended up back at his house. I don't know how that happened, but let little Miss Bible emoji tell you, she just, she came back. Apparently she said, I had to see him. So these are her words, because apparently this is in a video that I'm honestly, I tried to watch all of it, y'all, and I'll be completely frank, I couldn't watch all of it. I'm like, I am between Married at First Sight and this, I'm like, I am really, 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 really sick of watching Black women's pain be y'all fucking entertainment. I'm about so sick of this. I'm so sick of seeing how, on one hand, they say Black women are so disloyal, and you watch two separate women, one marrying some ugly ass nigga at first sight and literally sticking by this man who literally told you that you were unattractive. Ooh. And also fucked his ex-fiance 6 weeks before y'all got married, when in those 6 weeks you are literally supposed to be in the fucking process. You fighting to stay married to some nigga who literally told you weren't fucking attractive. All the while y'all been telling Black women that y'all not loyal. And y'all saying that she is weak for you're not leaving. While I understand where that's coming from, I'm like, so these are literally two clear examples of how wrong y'all all are about Black women. Loyal to a fucking fault. I want to shake Paige. Girl, get the fuck out. Why are you making this his decision if he want to stay? You should fucking leave. I'm like, I don't give a shit what, because she gave me hope when she's like, you're wasting my time, I gotta go. And then it's like, I'm gonna try to work on this marriage. Where is your mama? Where are your friends? Where's your mama? Where's your mama? Why is she? Okay. And then we have Danae, who she got up on the camera, and it's now a laughing stock. And I am saying laughing stock. Her pain is entertainment to a lot of people. I've seen the memes of no wonder he cheated, because people are pulling up this screenshots of this video, but pulling up the glamour shots of the alleged mistresses. And they're fine as fuck. I'm like, I ain't even gonna hold y'all. But so is she. She just is not putting on a whole bunch of makeup and putting out her hair or putting on a bra. Like, girl, we are in a Panasonic. Look, if I don't have to wear a bra, I'm all for it. I'm like, at this point, it's like, do I have to put on a bra? Because I don't want to go. I don't want to put it on. I'm like, I'm done with this. So I'm just angry at this point. So here it is, where your pain is entertainment to folks. And now we're at the part of the game where we're finally starting to shit on Derrick Jaxn when that should have been the first thing you did. How dare you sit up there and embarrass this girl? Because I can guarantee you, Cook and I are old enough to remember when Kobe was allegedly raping a woman in another state. He said this was consensual. Part of it was, part of it was not. Anyway, nobody said Vanessa Bryant looked dumb as hell supporting his ass. And she sat right next to his ass. Ray Rice's wife was sitting right next to his ass.
Okay, so no, I did say she looked crazy as hell sitting next to that nigga because that Ray Rice.
I'm talking about, okay.
Sorry.
Full
disclosure, I'm being transparent.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying we're old enough to remember that. See, now I sound like Queen. Because I was like, I was dogging. I'm like, I don't. I think she was like, one of the conversations is.
Oh, I was done with the whole Ray Rice. Because for me, it was off top. When I saw the way he knocked her out in that goddamn elevator and drug her out, I was like, ain't no motherfucking way. You hit me like that and drag me out the elevator and I stick by you. And I really struggled with that situation. And then she was mocked because, of course, what did people do? Wear the Ray Rice jersey and their girlfriends wearing a Ray Rice jersey and painting her eye black for Halloween and ha ha ha.
Right, because I still remember it was really interesting that some of the same people, Steelers fans, by the way, Steelers and Ravens fans, were all about boycotting Mike Vick being back in the league, wearing their Ray Rice jerseys and or Ben Roethlisberger's jerseys. I'm like, y'all are literally doing all this for a man and a man who actually went to jail. He actually went to jail 18 whole months. For this, and this is what y'all doing, bitch. Fuck you. Are you kidding? It's like, but yeah. So yeah, I sound like Queen because I think I said something. She's like, y'all know what I meant. I'm like, she's right. I'm like, you know what? You're right. So collectively, it was like, we don't see it, but what this woman writes. It's very erratic. I'm not going to diagnose her, but the writing is erratic.
Right.
And it's just sad at this point because I'm like, I feel like she could have been glammed up, and I think y'all still. It would have been like, how dare you cheat on her? I'm like, why does her putting on makeup and hair demonstrate why he should have been betraying her? I'm like, she's still his wife.
It wasn't about, I did. Okay, full disclosure. I roasted her goddamn bonnet. But here is my thing. Her as a person, she doesn't deserve this.
There it is.
She doesn't deserve this. And here's the thing also, too. That girl still got her own mind and she's choosing to stay. And there ain't nothing I can do about that.
Correct.
This should actually, technically, this is none of our business.
Right? This is what happens when people's stuff becomes your bit. Do you know how many Derrick Jaxns there are?
Honey,
there's plenty.
But since you're putting it on IG,
right? Because it's like
making it available,
right? Because that was my thing too. Because I'm like, because Cook and I are Black women. We're like, here's the thing. We like in our pain, we will put our best fucking foot forward. So I think for me,
Black
that's where I was.
Code. You never let them see you
like
sweat.
You walk in like this is Pride Rock and you are Sarabi.
Listen.
Head held high, scar there is no food. That is how. So that's the thing. I get it because for women it's like I would never do that. But I think for us and I think for the most part we've been very open with our mental health issues, and we have, and I could tell you there have been days where I could not get out of bed. I couldn't get out of bed. There are days when I have not brushed my teeth because of my depression. So that's the part of me where I'm like, girl, I wouldn't have got dressed up for this shit either. It's like I wouldn't have. So it's like I see both. I probably still would have, but that's not the point. It's like I feel like I wouldn't have I probably would have put on concealer and pressed powder, but I may not have put foundation on, if you understand what I mean. It's like I may have, it's like, it's a lot to go here. And I'm just like, ooh. So when we're talking about like being presentable and beauty and everything, you know what got me to the whole, this shit blows me out of the water. So now it's like, cheat code. It was when Eric Benet cheated multiple times on Halle Berry. That Halle Berry. I was like, oh, okay. So that whole desirability and beauty thing is bullshit because that's fucking Halle Berry. It's like, that's Halle Berry. I'm like, all of a sudden it's like, because before it's like, if you like look a certain way, you carry yourself a certain way, men won't cheat on you. And then Eric Benet was like, hold my beer. Listen.
And then Eric Benet had the nerve to say Halle Berry can't keep a man because he cheated on her.
It was like, she can always get one. What you mean?
And she got your ass.
Who's she with now? Van Hunt, who is like, if you think I'm giving up this 40-hour pussy, 50-year-old wop on deck. I'm sorry. And she's a Leo, so you know I love her.
But the truth is, Eric was mad because Halle left him.
Correct. She was like,
and not only did she leave him, she left his daughter too.
Yep.
That's what he's really mad about.
Right. Because it looks wild as hell. It's like, it's like the math ain't mathing on this baby. It's like she's Halle Berry, even with Beyonce. Now, mind you, the only reason why we know Jay-Z cheated is we can joke about it or allude to it because Solange beat his ass in the elevator. And I'm like, so I'm a sister. I don't have a sister, but I am a sister. You have a sister. Her husband, your spouse's mate treats them like shit. I swear you see red. I'm like, bitch, I will fuck you. Have you lost your goddamn mind? I'll beat your ass. It's like, I will beat your ass. Have you lost your mind? So like we joked. But then here come the Lemonade and the 444. And then 444, whatever the fuck that album is called. It's not a bad album. It's just, whatever. So then it's like, oh my God, he did cheat on her. I'm like, she's fucking Beyonce. It's like, that whole, if you're desirable, men won't cheat. I'm like, no, it stopped for me. And when I saw Halle
we are under no motherfucking illusions. All right.
Absolutely.
None
whatsoever. It's like, girl, like, please stop doing that whole,
we know y'all gonna do what y'all gonna do. The point is that you all do not know how to keep us off y'all asses. Y'all do the stupidest shit. And it's like, I can't take you serious.
At all.
Like, how am I supposed to take you serious?
It's like, I don't want to hear it. It was just like, it's a lot. I'm like, this woman is in pain. And the thing about it is when it comes, and also another thing, I was in a Clubhouse room a few days ago and there was a group of women and we were talking about it. The other part that it's not a big discussion. It's a discussion kind of like making Black women's pain entertainment. The other little discussion is about how abusive it looks for this man to put this woman on camera and not really like, okay, I mean, it's like he can't tell her to put on makeup. He can't do that or wear a certain thing. But watch the body language. The body language doesn't read, we're all in this together and this is her idea.
No.
It doesn't read that way. And we're saying what is read. We can't say, that's what it is. It's like, this is what it sends to me. And for women who have been in manipulative and abusive relationships, this video and the conversations and the other videos has triggered them. There was a woman that I was in a room with, and she was saying, there was two women. One was talking about her being a few months out of her abusive, manipulative relationship. The other woman said, I've been out for a few years and it triggered me and I had to leave the room because I couldn't listen to it anymore. Danae is not a unicorn either. When we talk about abuse and manipulation, most abusers are very, very charming people. Very, very charming. Very attraction is in the eye of the beholder, but charm and swag is technically not. So they know how to use their words and how to use their influence. They know how to do this. So Derrick Jaxn's ascension, it seems kind of on brand. Because the other conversation going on is how he pinpointed something that's going on in our community. Broken women who are still male-centered and looking for validation from men. Like Derrick Jaxn. That man was a fucking leech, a mosquito feeding on these women, and women who were just like, oh, okay, it's common sense to me, and blah, blah, blah.
Because that one lady, she was like, one lady who was interviewed, she was saying that she called him because she was kind of going through it with her man already.
Mm-hmm.
And that he was just like, yeah, like he kind of like related to her in the sense that, oh, me and my wife are going through some things. So he's one of those situationship type niggas.
Correct.
He creates the situationship because it's mud in the water out the gate.
Mm-hmm.
You never really know his status because he's available when he wants to be available. But when you want a little something more, then all of a sudden he's not available and it's back to, oh, but you know me and her, we got blah, blah, blah. But when he's ready for your ass, then okay, he's going to be there. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So he's one of those, that's what it sounded like to me from what I heard, the way everything was presented, allegedly. So what I'm noticing is that men like to have, it's a rotation, about 4 or 5 different chicks, 7 more, depending on where really, what he can afford or what they require. And he'll have them in rotation. And that really much keeps him occupied from being what you need. He cannot give you all that you need and all that you require and all that you want because it's always somebody else.
It's
always somebody else who anybody can come and literally take your man out of your home at any time. And it's real. That shit's real. Yeah. Listen, you don't like you, and that's the part really the biggest scam is you even being worried about the other bitch. Like, and then, when you read her post, she was like, when she looked through the phone and she saw what she saw women she knew. Some were familiar.
Mm-hmm.
Some women she didn't know. Dark-skinned women.
The fact that she said women that she knew, that was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like, girl, this yo niggas fucking listen, Linda, listen.
Listen, Linda.
That nigga will fuck anybody because he can. And that's pretty much the beginning and the end of it. And you just sitting there spinning your wheels, girl. And so the truth is, these women who know they can have your man do not feel sorry for you. And that's the other thing.
So that's the thing. They're like, they
looking at you like, girl, no what?
Girl,
like,
please.
they look at you like bait. They looking at this like bait. Like, oh, and the thing is, it's a nasty trap because while they're thinking that way, he's the one who's just going to reap all the pussy by the pound.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to keep
that he's already been doing.
Broken women are still going to go through the same broken cycle.
Right. So, yeah, shout out to Erica DeMero TV, because she's the first person I kind of heard say there are women that are male-centered. And when you think about it, you're like, yeah. It's like when you think like, end all is be all is to be in service of a man, not necessarily your children. Or
your greatest accomplishment is getting married. And it's
correct. That's like a badge, like, you want my life because I am married. Man, it was like, I am married and you want my life. Ma'am, your husband went to Tampa for 3 days and didn't tell your ass. What you mean? I'm like, girl, I don't want the man who goes to the stripper capital of the world for 3 days and feel like, why we bringing up old shit? The fuck is going on? I'm sorry, y'all.
I'm not here for it because what you're not going to do is have me paying half the bills.
Child, hi. I'm like, why you need to know where I was? Bitty. What do you mean? You were gone 3 days in a pandemic? We have a child. Something could have happened to me. They'd be like, where's your husband? I don't know. Nobody would have known, you bitch. Okay, this is not about Real Housewives of Atlanta.
He forgot he had a child.
Like, you have a whole child. and a whole wife. You have a whole fucking family, and here you go being a dumbass, you bitch. Okay. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. So it's a lot of things. It's a lot to unpack because one, it's not just one thing. I wish it was just one thing, but it's not. It's a lot going on. You see a person in pain and someone who is literally a manipulator and who has built his brand on manipulating Black women, because a lot of women in our community have been hurt and broken, and they have love trauma because we're told to act like shit don't bother us, and we're not allowed to feel. We are never allowed to be vulnerable, not really the victim, because then you know how some people feel about you don't get to be the victim. That's fine. I agree why. I see why. So I'm going to say Black women are not allowed to be vulnerable because we always got to help and prop up everybody else. Yeah, we're done. Kick the chair out. Like, oh no, baby, I ain't propping you up. No, I am done. Put your saddle away. We are done. I am, get the saddle off me. Get it off. Get the bridle off. Bitch, no. Fuck that. We're done. And so somebody who makes it their business, that's how they built their business. That's how a man who has been married 4 times can tell you how to get a man. Sir, you have 4 wives. How are you telling anybody about love and commitment and marriage? Shut up. It's like, how? And then it's like, how did you? He is a more attractive Steve Harvey.
Ooh.
Because people, I was like, why are you coming to this man that's been married 4 times? Teach me about relationships. He can teach you about cheating. That's what the fuck he can teach you.
Right.
And he's not a bad, I'm like, and when we talk about this, notice we're not saying these are bad people, but these aren't perfect people. There is no perfect person. I mean, there was one, that one time in the valley. But other than that, it's nobody else, honey. It's nobody else.
The other valley, you hush, you hush your mouth.
There's a lily, I know. I'm sorry. See, the churchy side gonna come out. y'all better leave us churchy aunties alone, because we be sitting here rocking with our Martin Luther King fans.
Listen, mine is, and it's got Ebenezer AME on the back.
Come on.
It do.
Mine says Shiloh New Missionary Baptist. You know it's got to be you know at least one church that got missionary in it. Okay, let me stop that because that's funny. It's way more funny, but it's just sad. So I also have wrote down, the downfall. First of all, Derrick Jaxn will be just fine. The reason this is coming out is mostly so how it was billed to the current mistress is that he allegedly messaged her and text her apparently and said, do something with your phone or don't answer. A blogger's trying to take me down because I wouldn't do a interview with her. In the call with the current mistress, Tasha K said that is not true. She was like, that is not true. I don't know why he said that, but that is not true. That the reason why she's coming after him is because he slighted her on an interview. Now, I don't know how true that is.
She said he was talking shit
about her, but not what he told her, which was, I wouldn't give her an interview. So that's that.
Oh, no. That's it.
That's not it. That's not what happened.
You was running your mouth.
You was running your mouth. You were being a fucking hoe. And it's like, the thing about it is, why are you doing all this? And see, this is wild to me. How you mouthing off to anybody and you realize she's in a place where people tell her shit all the time. This is not new to Tasha K. There's a lot of people who tell us stuff. They told us stuff about Jamal Bryant. I think she talked to Kirk Franklin's son. She know a whole bunch that the T.I. and Tiny stuff. People talk to her. I don't want to say good or bad because it's like we're all like, we love to mess. So there's that. But the thing about it is Tasha K, like for some people, they make it their business. I think I will give her this, that the fact that she was like, I'm going to make sure nobody can't find you. I think for a few people, they would not do that. They'd be like, no, I'm not going to tell people your name. I'm not going to put no videos, no nothing. I have no idea what's going on her Patreon. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm looking right now. She got videos about Jeffree Star, Azario Clary. She definitely was talking about the R. Kelly stuff. Tokyo Tony, Diddy, Lori Harvey. She runs the gamut. So a lot of times the shit we're talking about, she's going to talk about it. It's like, okay, that's where you are. Hold on one second.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Okay, sorry about that. So she makes it her business to talk about the business because people do write to her. Like more churchy things, they go to Larry Reed, which I can understand. I mean, it's like everybody got their place to go of places to go. I will also bring this up. So apparently, on All About the Tea, they put up an alleged video of one of the mistresses, and the picture they used is actually of a famous person, which, what? Because everyone heard about it being a doctor. The alleged current mistress is a doctor. So the picture she used was of literally, I believe, and this was found out by see these T pages, child. On the Basketball Wives T page, they called out All About the Tea because they had put up saying his current mistress was pregnant. And she did bring that up, that the person that Tasha K talked to did say she was pregnant. The picture they used was apparently of somebody named Angel Love. Ooh. And I was like, oh, y'all know, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Look at this. What's this group?
So it's called All True Tea and the Basketball Wives Tea, which I stopped watching. Because so y'all, sidebar. If you y'all know how I feel about the Brooke Ashley, the doll. She was on a YouTube panel with Scotty by Nature. He had a panel to discuss colorism. So she was on the panel because, of course, everybody's like, fuck Basketball Wives and their fucking colorism. So let's see, who was on this panel? Because I'm like, I don't know who Angel Love is, child. I don't know who any of these people are. So he was on a panel, a live panel, included him. Contrary Canary was on there. I think Erica De Niro TV was on there. The Brooke Ashley. And I'm trying to think. It was somebody else and I wasn't sure. Oh, the Chocolate Beauty 81. So there was quite a few people that were on this, and I love the mixture of tones. And okay, let me look at it. So this is who was on the panel: Scotty by Nature, Layla Lynn, Erica De Niro TV, The Brooke Ashley, Yocrates, Nikki Starr, Kempire, Chocolate Beauty 81, and Contrary Canary, where they had a colorism panel. I'm very, very excited. Contrary Canary is a light-skinned Black woman who said, this is some bullshit. What the fuck is going on? I'm like, see, everybody saying it. Brooke Ashley said, fuck Basketball Wives. I'm watching it because it's triggering me. And I felt every part of that because I'm like, y'all keep playing in people's faces about colorism. I'm sorry. That was a long, weird tangent.
Listen.
So allegedly, Derrick Jaxn is trying to get this shit squashed because of his pending book deal this summer. And I guess he has a deal with TD Jakes because, you know, during that video that I refused to watch of him and his wife, he brought up like, he quote unquote came to Jesus and now that's why he's going to change it. I'm like, sir, please stop and saying the devil made you do it. No, your free will because you are a hoe and a floozy on the internet. That is what made you do it. Stop blaming the devil on everything. It was like, he is busy, but he ain't that goddamn busy. I was like, please stop that. No, it's your free will that got you here. So he's trying to like get together with his whole deal with TD Jakes allegedly. So I think he's going to be just fine because one, they spent a good portion of the last maybe week or 10 days. By the time you guys hear this, it'll be closer to April. I cannot believe this. This month has flown by. So it's been about a week or so, but the majority of that was spent roasting her as opposed to how you sitting on this, how you going to embarrass her like this. She looked like, I don't do this. But then she put out video solo where she talked about, y'all see a bonnet, I see a helmet of salvation, you see a sweatshirt, and I think she said a breastplate of righteousness. I was like, girl, you please stop talking. Because they're going to like label you a crazy religious zealot, which she may be. But still, shut the hell up. Still though, shut the hell up. Shut the hell up. It's like, shh, be quiet. I'm sorry. It's like, you might be, but shut the hell up. It's like, girl, quiet. Am I wrong though? It's like, shut the hell up. What you doing?
Sometimes we just be like, if you don't
shut the hell up. Shut up. It's like, girl, be quiet. Oh my God. It's like, am I wrong now? Anyhow. So I think the last part of this, because I mean, it's a lot and we have thoughts and fifis, is the hypocrisy that I am seeing. So several things. So the first is the hypocrisy of men going, see, told y'all he wasn't great. I'm like, so basically he's just a regular ass nigga like you. Nobody put a cape on his ass except, well, actually, there's quite a few women who are like, that's right, he our champion. So they do feel disappointed. Because after a while, it's like, damn, why? I feel like it's disappointment for a few people, but it's interesting. None of y'all didn't share this much disappointment about, oh, I don't know, Kanye or T.I. or Bill Cosby or R. Kelly or Lil Wayne or O.J. Simpson or Killer Mike. I can keep going. This is a fun game. I have a lot of people. Y'all did this because you are high-fiving and celebrating that women are disappointed because it's fine that Black women have been historically treated like shit from not only majority culture, but from Black men as well. So y'all are very happy with that. That is not sitting well. That is upsetting me and my homegirl. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? So there's a hypocrisy on that, but it's also now, I will say this, that I think it's very interesting, the ebb and flow of what women's beauty has been, where before it was like, you better get your hair done every 2 weeks. Then it turned into, why are these women trying to fool us with all this hair and makeup? And a lot of people use some of the following lyric. I'm so fucking sick and tired of the Photoshop. Show me something natural like Afro and Richard Pryor. Show me something natural like ass with some stretch marks. Y'all use that against women. Say, yeah, that's right. Y'all need to be more natural. Stop wearing all this makeup and on this hair. You have this woman sitting on the camera doing exactly what y'all said should be what Black women do and what we should do. And what did y'all do? I can see why he cheated. How interesting. This is what we were telling you. I'm like, y'all are full of shit. No, you don't want quote unquote natural women, because your examples are women who have a natural beat. That is what I'm like, baby. I'm like, see, she ain't wearing no makeup. She has on bronzer and I can see it. This is how I know you don't know the fuck y'all talking about. It's like, you do realize I'm looking at bronzer. She has on pressed powder. That's a little bit of concealer. It's not a lot. It looks like she also color corrected. What else you want me to tell you?
Nobody.
So it's kind of like to watch the men who clowned her. For women, I think it came out of a place of, girl, you don't let these people see you out. You don't see them like off your pedestal. Girl, you bring your best foot forward. In our pain, we're always like, we gotta look beat. And it's like, for what? Beat for what?
You look beat, not defeated. Like,
right.
Girl, come on, like just get a drum song. Just give me some. Just a little. Oh. And I didn't want this for her. And this is exactly why I was upset, because I was just like, it's coming. I didn't want this for her. But I knew. Like, I can't say
right.
Anything. Like, they coming for you. And when they do.
And that's the other thing. It's like, girl, I'm not your friend, so I wouldn't, I don't think I would tell you what to do. But quite frankly, I knew this was going to happen. So all them niggas that was like, y'all be no natural, making jokes about, I'm going to take my girl to a pool on our first date. But then when someone does exactly what y'all said, what are you doing? You're clowning her and saying, see, this is why you cheated on, because you look a fucking mess. But y'all said y'all want natural. Sometimes I naturally don't wear a bra. I naturally don't put on makeup if I don't need to. You bitch asses. Stop that. It's like, either y'all going to be for real or you not. Because if you look at her Instagram, it's a mix up between us. It's a lot of, girl, y'all, it's a lot of words. It's a lot of Bibles. It's a lot of out of context Bible verses, but also there are some pictures of her and her face, and she's a beautiful woman. She's wearing makeup, and a lot of these, she is not. So you can't say Black women need to stop lying and be more natural. Then when she is, you clown her for it. So this is how I'm like, this is why we don't, this is why we know y'all asses are full of shit. You're full of shit. You just want to tell Black women what to do. You just want to tell women what to do. And the minute the women's like, I'm doing this for me, it's like, how dare you not do this for me? Because a lot of the niggas who had a problem with WAP, they don't seemingly have a problem with a Yin Yang Twin song that is somewhat new. And it's called Throw That.
I mean, these niggas ain't out here protesting Throat Baby either. So.
Right. Throat Baby. So if y'all want the lyrics, so you're just like, oh, it's probably fine. Because y'all had a problem with Bust It, because y'all like, how dare you? And it's like, how very interesting. So I'm not going to read all these because I don't care. One, these men are simpletons. And also they make scripper music. And I'm like, I feel like that's fine. It's like, excuse me, I don't want to hear normal shit. Because, well, why would I want that? It's like it's the titty ball, and I want to see the titty shake. I want to see the nigga with the long dick hop up on the pole and do all the gymnastics. I don't need to hear rope. I don't need to hear Luther Vandross. Okay, so if I'm in the Scripple place, I want the Scripple music so they can shake their ass. That's how I feel. I'm sorry. I think it's so. Apparently, the song is called "Throw That," but it's "Throw That Pussy." That's the hook, y'all. Throw that pussy. So y'all don't like when women are like, "I got good pussy and I got a wet ass pussy." Oh my God, think about the children. Throw that pussy. Oh, turn that shit up. See, this is how y'all do. Yeah, I don't see y'all like having all these thinkety think pieces about a song called "Throw That" or "Throat Baby." Nope, y'all ain't saying nothing because this was never about the children. This is about y'all thinking that how dare a woman operate outside of your purview and do shit for her, because that's how that goes. After a while, it's like, yeah, let me just do things that I like to do. Hence, a lot of women who do makeup, they're not doing it to catch a man. They're doing it because it's a skill. They can make money, and or they're just fucking good at it and they enjoy it. That's it. That's it. That's the tweet.
That's it.
That's the tweet. I'm waiting for the thought pieces on Lil Nas X's new video, because bitch, I just heart Little Montero so much. I love him so much. He was born the year I graduated from high school, and it took me a minute. I had to sit for a minute. Like, okay, so basically you'll be 22 in April. He's an Aries. This kind of makes sense to me.
Right.
His birthday's April 9th. He's an Aries. He is an Aries, our Boo Boo Taria. So, you know.
It's Aries season, and this Aries, I feel the fire. The flames is with me, but I'm a cool out. You're right, I'm a cool out.
It's like, child, I love it. I love the video. I love that he is walking fully into his queerness and doing it whatever the fuck he want to do. So him writing a letter to 14-year-old Montero, I was like, Montero's his first name, isn't it? And I was like, it took me a minute. I'm like, let me Google it. I'm like, it sure is. So basically a letter to himself, 14, saying, basically he held all of that back because, as he did when he was on The Shop with a drunk Kevin Hart and a whole bunch of straight black men who were like, I don't understand, why couldn't you just be yourself? Y'all know good and hell well why he couldn't.
So okay.
Yeah. Right. So I love that. The bad part about it is the person who said it the loudest was the man who made a joke. If his son came home gay, he would hit him over the head with a Barbie dream house. And you're actually, bitch, fuck you.
So I really like the Lil Nas X video.
I love it. I love that.
I need a stripper pole to hell, so
it was just like, woo, it's like, oh, I love him so much. I was like,
he really is a Nicki Minaj fan, and I feel like he is coming from
you can see it,
and I think he is the baddest bitch. I'm calling it now. When they ask who the baddest bitch is, I'm be like, Lil Nas X.
Lil Nas. It's like that's him.
Because he gave you a bob, a lap dance, he gave you some twerking.
Child, love it.
Baby. I'm here for all of it. Like,
especially because he's basically right. He's basically thumbing his nose at the people who said gay people are going to hell. It's like, okay, well, I'm gonna look fabulous while you are alleging that I'm going somewhere that you don't know if I'm going.
The truth is, honey,
you can't put me there, but you want to enjoy this video.
They don't have a heaven and hell to put anybody in. But let me tell you what was popping. If I do go, honey, I know. I bet you I'd turn that motherfucker out.
So I had retweeted somebody who said, basically, he is writing the devil. Explain how this visualization is supposed to be interpreted by the youth? ? Should all men dress androgynously and sleep with satin? He said satin, like Satin.
No, that's so funny.
And I said, you should absolutely not sleep with satin. I would suggest a cotton-rich poly-cotton blend and flannel in the winter.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He's like, you should never sleep with satin.
It'll make you sweat.
It's like,
give you body acne.
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'm good. Like, no, I don't think you should.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
Definitely get Egyptian cotton.
Oh, Egyptian cotton. I love it. I tell people about cotton, and this is, hi guys. I used to work in domestics, but I think high thread count cotton is fantastic. If you do a blend, and it's mostly to just keep the heat down, I say a cotton rich blend. I always do, because the poly will keep you a little bit cooler, but the cotton, it'll be a little bit softer. That's what I say. And if you want to talk about, no matter the blend, a thread count, baby, get above 400, lean closer to 750 or 800. But if you do like a 1400 thread count, it'll feel like a lower count all cotton sheet because of the high thread count if you do a blend. And that's my tip for y'all. Any more thoughts that you have while we are wrapping up our scarf soliloquies?
Do I have anything else I want to add?
I love it so sultry. Do I have anything else?
And you know what? Tonight's strain is brought to you by Forbidden Fruit.
So, what color is it?
It's like a dark green.
Ooh, see, guys, I don't smoke the weed. I just enjoy Cook talking about it and also sending me photos of what they look like, because it's incredibly beautiful. But I don't usually smoke the weed. I don't usually imbibe, but I enjoy pictures of it. I can find it. You know, there's IG pages full of it. I just want to let y'all know. So there's that. But I think that is all for the scarf soliloquies, or bonnet sonnets, whatever you want to call it. So when I come back, it'll be April, and I am inviting all the people that I act a whole fool with. So Cook might be back. So all of April, it will be about April Fool's Day is April 1st, but as Quinn from Know That Pod introduced me on Know That Pod, so this is Stephanie, and she's a whole fool. I'm like, what? I am a fool and a half. How rude. So all the people in April will be somebody that I call a fool. They are not foolish. It's just that we're funny and we feel like we're acting like fools. So there's that. So that'll be in April, and also in May, I'm bringing in the mamas, which means my mama will be back.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. So y'all, this has been a Mocha Minutes podcast. As Erica Gennaro TV says, protect your energy. Also, when it comes to oppression, this is not the Olympics. This is not the Super Bowl. This is not the NBA Finals. You should not want to say who is the best in oppression. Girl, this is not a pageant. This is not Miss Oppression. Please stop doing this. It sadly, it's enough oppression for everybody. Mm-hmm. And some have more than others. We don't have to do tit for tat, because the enemy is always white supremacy and racism.
Yeah.
So we can our oppression as Black people is different than oppression of Asian Americans. And then from Asian Americans, the oppression of South Asian Americans is different. But they're all in the same group. I have thoughts and fifis about something, but I'll keep it off the mic. And yes, so everybody's oppression, every non-white person's oppression is different. And then even under all of those different umbrellas, there's even deeper oppression if you have an intersection. It is okay to discuss, because one, every non-white person who has oppression, they're going through their oppression, but still taking the time to highlight someone else's. It does not need to be, if you supported Black Lives Matter last summer, you need to be all in for Stop Asian Hate. So first of all, but most of all, fuck you. Second of all, That's not how allyship and anti-racism work. It is not, oh, you did this, so you got to do that. No, you can do all of that because all of it is bad and all of it needs to go. There should be no way in February 2020, a old elderly Asian man is kicked, someone runs up, kicks him in the face. And so since February 2020, that man has not left the house. It is March 2021. He's afraid to leave his house. That is a problem. Okay. Thanks so much. You're great. Tip your waitress at least 18%. I said it. Tip your drivers, tip your waitresses. Enjoy your vaccinations. If you're doing two-step, please hydrate yourself. If you need help, if you are like, I don't know how to get a vaccine, if you're in the DMV area, there is a website. Shout out to Aeon from box number 512, dmvvaccine.com. And they will tell you about, I believe it's it is just CVS's, but they can tell you about available appointments at a CVS to get your vaccine because a lot of people are having trouble. So there's one for the DMV, but also there is one on the CDC site. It is coronavirus.dc.gov, I guess /vaccine. So it looks like this is the one for DC. I'm doing this because I want people to get vaccinated. I'm being dead ass serious. So there is a website for people in DC, vaccinate.dc.gov. If you were like, I don't know how to get a appointment for a vaccine. For Virginia, they have, it looks like, yep, here we go, DMZ vaccine. So it's called DMV vaccine. I spelled it wrong, .com. So it looks like it gives you the trackers in the DMV area. So they are looking at Walmart's, Giant Pharmacy, Safeway Pharmacy, and CVS's. So they're running the gamut. So right now I'm looking at it and it says fully booked, but they also have a Twitter handle. It's DMV vaccine. So if you're like, I'm having trouble, and I'm saying it for the DMV area, I'm pretty sure there are other sites for around the world, around the country. Yeah. So there's that. Please do what you need to do if you need to help. Because let me just be very frank with you. For people who are lower income, white people are literally going into lower income areas and getting vaccines because people who are living in those areas are not being told. They don't know because it's not marketed in their area. So you have people who are higher income and better socioeconomic statuses who are heading to these lower income areas. It's because the gag is being told that Black people are not caring about their health and not this vaccination. It's not that they don't care, it's they don't know and they don't trust it. It's like, why are you not telling us in these areas that this is going on?
So here's the deal. It's interesting. I got my first shot today. Mm-hmm. My coworker sent me a link and
oh, cool.
Niggled my way in, honey.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And so I went and interestingly enough, I mean, it was cool. You know, right now it's a little puffy. And
okay. Do you have any arm soreness?
A little bit. They told me to move my arm around, mm-hmm. stay hydrated, and all that stuff. But interestingly enough, another friend that I spoke to, she said they didn't tell her any of that stuff.
So can I just tell you that I got most of my stuff from my mother. She was just like, I was like, when I told her I got my first one, she's like, okay, this is what I'm gonna tell you to do. Do you have any ibuprofen? And I was like, I don't. She's like, get some ibuprofen. You don't have to take it until after you get the shot. She's like, make sure you got plenty to drink. Make sure you hydrate. I was like, huh. I heard it from her. And then when I went, they gave me a packet of information on what to do about the vaccine. But you're right. They don't give you stuff before. It's like, okay, so we're gonna stick you. Here you go. Like, wait, what? So it's like, if you know, especially if you were able to talk to people who've already gotten it, because that probably are people who are healthcare workers. They're probably ones, because they started really in December and early January for healthcare workers, but not teachers. That's a whole nother story. How y'all opening the fucking school and y'all ain't vaccinating teachers? And also the efficacy on a lot of these vaccines are not as high as it's kind of hard for it to be that high because they haven't had enough time. So there's that. I'm sorry.
It's okay. We're gonna get the word out. It's interesting. I know. Well, a lot of people. I will say in this area, I do see a lot of African Americans getting vaccinated.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know a lot of Black people who are getting vaccinated. Are we getting vaccinated for the right reasons? Hell no. Getting vaccinated so we go out and do whole shit. And I think that is the marketing tool right there. We need to let these
like so I can go out and hang with my friends. I'm like, I need vaccination. I need herd immunity because I'm turning 40 in August. Okay, I need herd immunity. And mind you, I'm talking about August. It's like, I don't think the thing about it is, I think they're not even forecasting herd immunity till probably October, November, which because a lot of places are not opening up their vaccines to, because all states are different. Some of them are not opening it up to like the general public until June. And it's like, wait, what?
So I just got a text from CVS that is coming to my area.
Oh,
I think, yeah. So in this area where I'm at, in this side of Maryland, I'm on the south side,
right,
Prince George's County. You can, they're going to open it up to Giant, Safeway. You can go to CVS, First Baptist.
I think also
Walgreens.
Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens. Yeah. First Baptist Glenarden. Will be a site to administer. Yeah. So it's coming. It's available. I had to go all the way to Southern Maryland to get it.
Okay.
I went a county over.
Okay.
Actually, 2 counties over.
And you still did it. It's kind of like, yeah, because and you're able to. So I think if you're like, oh, how do we get more people vaccinated? If you want to, like, you know what? I have a whole big old van. If you need a ride, I will take you. Like, we've been wearing masks for over a year. That's not a problem. I can work that out.
I'm waiting for when people under 16 can get it.
That part.
Yeah, because baby gal is not going anywhere until it's all clear. I'm getting it, because, well...
I had a whole shit, but it's like, I need to be. Y'all can't. How are y'all opening it up to school and these kids are not vaccinated?
I'm like, teachers are not vaccinated.
And then you're having little outbreaks here and there and everywhere. And
so
I'm like,
interestingly enough, next week is spring break, right?
Right.
So now I'm getting a thing that's saying like, yeah, a week after spring break, they're doing virtual for that whole week. So I'm like, yeah, let them symptoms start popping up.
That's what people were saying, because they're traveling.
People are
so it's
going
like,
out of town for spring break. So it's like, people are going to do shit for spring break next week. It's just like, bro.
It's like, what the fuck is? I was like, are they quarantining after they come back? No. And on top of that, not only they're traveling to hot spots like Florida and California. It's like, okay, so we didn't learn nothing. Oh, okay, you've been literally in quarantine over a year, but I'm sorry, everybody at this point has probably had their 1-year anniversary for quarantine.
Listen, I'm in no rush. I'm in no rush.
I'm like, I need herd immunity August.
Because I'm just glad I'm be out in time for Memorial Day, because that's when whole season starts, and I'm going out. I'm gonna stop right there.
You such a mess. All right, y'all. This has been the Mocha Minutes podcast. Cook, thank you so much. I always, as always, appreciate you. I am on the ready. Take all the time you need, because she is doing the reduction on this sauce that is highly inappropriate. So good things take time. So she taking the time. We ain't rushing her back. So yeah, because when y'all get this sauce, don't you heard it here. Y'all ain't gonna be ready. So you need to give her some time. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, I appreciate it. You are my champion.
Of course, I'm your cheerleader. I'm like, I need cook.
My champion, and I appreciate that. So I can't wait for you to turn 40 because
ew. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna set up for my friend. I can't wait. I gotta look at that video again from Little Nas. I'm like, I gotta find somebody who's gonna dress up for me so I can grind on him. Okay.
Ooh, hey, wait.
Or shake my titty like Diamond Styles. Okay. I was like, come on, shake them things, sis.
We need to go back to the steakhouse.
Yes!
Get dressed up and go to the steakhouse.
Oh my God. That place is fantastic. Okay. This thing's
yeah.
Oh, here we go.
I can't wait to see my friends. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I can't wait.
Oh Lord. And Kenya Owen is putting up another picture because she dropped that white man. I stopped following Gary Owen and I don't know why I did it.
I stopped fucking with him a long time ago. For real, he didn't say Black Lives Matter after Mike Brown, and I was like, that's enough.
See, that's the thing. I probably wasn't paying him any attention. Something happened like 2 or 3, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. Time is a social construct at this point. He did something. I don't know what the fuck he did, but he did something. I was like, I'm good on you. I'm good. So that's yeah, I don't know what happened. All right, y'all. This has been a Mocha Minutes podcast. I will be back next week. Bye.
Black man. Date who you want, but shut the fuck up about black women. You can have your preference while still appreciating the kind of woman who raises your black ass. Mama told me never trust a man who finds beauty in every race but his own. Black man, I will continue to stick my neck out for you, even when you're also the one who's stepping on it. Black man, get off me. I can't breathe too. Black man, you never hear what I say because you're too busy complaining about your own situations. Can't you see we're in the same battlefield and every single weapon is pointed at us? I'm always 10 toes in front of you on the front line using all my strength to protect you. Black man, I will continue to have your back, but when will you have mine? I don't hate you. I just hate how you treat us. Black man, I love you. Black man, date who you want.